Hey everyone. So this is a kind of new reading for my channel. I wanted to do a little discussion, a little spread for the new moon. This new moon is going to be in Scorpio on I believe, I'm pretty sure it's the 7th. It'll be on Wednesday. This one I figured every once in a while I'll get people who ask a little bit about astrology because I always talk about how astrology and tarot, for anyone who knows tarot symbolism, knows that the two are very heavily connected, very strongly connected. So I wanted to take a moment, kind of talk about this new moon, and then we'll pull some cards and kind of see what the best energies are, or what the energies are, and the best ways to kind of work with them. Um, got my black moonstone here. Probably it's one of the palm stones I use the most. It's one of my favorites. If you don't know, I don't think I've talked about my own like natal chart, but I'm a Cancer Sun as well as a Cancer Rising. So definitely in love with the moon and moon cycles. Definitely a big part of my own personal life and my own personal spiritual journey. So I'm kind of excited about this reading. Anyone who's also a moon child, big love out to you. So this new moon coming up in Scorpio. Um, I think it's kind of an easy understanding that new moons, and I think a lot of people know this. If you don't, we're going to talk about it. But new moons are always a point where we can start putting out some new intentions, working on some new beginnings. I would say you never want to, I shouldn't say you never, never is probably the wrong word to use, but it's not, in my opinion, it's not necessarily ideal to start something on the actual day of the new moon because everything's blacked out. That doesn't mean you can't start planning. I think you definitely will get some intuitive kind of hits and pings on ideas and inspirations, but I wouldn't actually do anything until the moon becomes visible again, which I believe happens like on Friday or something. It's not. It's normally very shortly after the new moon once you get that little sliver back. Um, just because you don't want to start anything, almost like a retrograde. You don't want to necessarily start anything in retrograde because you're looking back. In a new moon, everything is blotted out, so you're in the process of resetting. So I usually wouldn't put action to anything on the day of the full moon because it's in darkness. But you definitely can start. I think psychic abilities and intuition get heightened, so I think it's a great time to plan and receive messages and inspirations. But don't start anything until, we'll say Friday, when the moon becomes visible again. But what's special about this particular moon? So new moon in Scorpio. So Scorpio, as you know, or as we all know, Scorpio is a really intense energy, very intense, almost life and death in a way. The counterpart to Scorpio is Taurus on the opposite side of the wheel. So Taurus being life, Scorpio being death. Intense energy. So what I think this new moon is, so it's still about trying to bring in new beginnings and set up new intentions, but I think what happens with this Scorpio moon, it's purging and releasing these old toxins, these old poisons, to make this new beginning possible. I also think of the word forgiveness comes to mind. So it's forgiving not only others that maybe have hurt us or did something to us that left us feeling betrayed, but it's also forgiving ourselves, maybe for certain choices we've made, or maybe allowing things that we knew we shouldn't have, or weren't good for us, or didn't pan out the way we did. I think part of this purging is forgiving those missteps. And that's all they were, missteps. And honestly, everything happens for a reason. There's nothing happens by mistake. There are no coincidences. So if it felt like a misstep, honestly, it was probably just a redirection, or it was there to teach you something about how you react, how you behave, ways to do this better in the future. So it sets you up for a larger moment that's coming. So you can't look at it as a mistake or I failed or I did wrong. It's just another opportunity to learn. Okay? So I think that's a big part of this new moon in Scorpio. There's also some really interesting aspects to this moon, and again, I'm not some super magic astrologer. I consider my knowledge to be a little basic, but I just want to share what I know in case it does help you guys out. So this new moon is in a sextile to Pluto, which is going to be in Capricorn. Yes, Capricorn. Sorry, I'm like trying to read my notes from across the table, so forgive me if I sound like I can't read something, because it's probably what's happening. Um, but with this sextiles are always great. One of the astrologers I love on YouTube, her name is Stormy Grace. If you want, check her out. She's awesome. She always talks about when the planets have sex, it's great for us. Hell, when anyone has sex, that's great. Especially the planets, because they're really working to help us out. What a sextile is, it's not only an opportunity to use these energies and kind of move forward, but it's also that you'll kind of intuitively just know how to proceed. It's not a, oh, I have this ability in something, but I really, you know, I don't know if I want to use it, how I want to use it, should I use it. It's like, so I really feel this strongly about this thing, and I feel like I need to do this, and then you start putting action behind it. So it's a easy energy that's also going to be motivated and kind of guided, which is great. Being in Capricorn, I think this energy is really going to be speaking to wanting to do something new and wanting to move forward with some type of new plan or goal. Any way to kind of like reach out and extend whatever this kind of perfect situation, whatever these new intentions are, for you personally in this new moon. And again, depending where where your rising is and where all these different signs fall in your personal chart will kind of depend where these intentions are kind of coming from or what aspect of your life they apply to. But generally, wherever that is, this sextile is going to give you that kind of drive to want to move and make this happen and kind of bring this to fruition. You also have another aspect to Neptune, which is in Pisces. This is going to be a trine between the new moon and Neptune. This Neptune is a really idealistic planet. It's dreamy and fantasy and likes to dream of the best kind of outcomes and wonderful futures for us. So this sign being, or this planet being in Pisces, I think is giving us this ideal vision, and it's also probably going to instill something in us or give us the idea that we want to help heal others or maybe receive some type of healing ourselves. It's probably connected to whatever our divine purpose is and our life purpose. But essentially it's giving us that perfect vision, and then you think about it and link it to Pluto that's giving us this drive because it's in Capricorn. So Neptune is showing you, hey, this is what could be, and then Pluto is coming in and be like, yes, we're going to do that because that looks amazing. I want to get there. So super great energies to help support this new moon. And again, anytime you have these really supportive, kind of easy energies, or I should say easy aspects, especially to this particular new moon. The moon is always, sensitive and feeling and, full of emotions. So it's not always the most comfortable place for the moon to be in Scorpio because Scorpio is so intense and so deep. So to feel all of those emotions, which honestly we probably are feeling now that we are in Scorpio season, all of us kind of become little mini Scorpios or get, a sense of what Scorpios feel, in their daily lives. We're just getting a taste of it for this month. So we're probably already feeling this intensity, and our emotions are probably either all the way left or all the way right. We're not, very little middle ground in Scorpio season. And same thing for the moon. The moon is feeling a little uncomfortable because it's being forced to look at all these dark-seated things that we've probably repressed and buried down and covered up, and didn't want to deal with because they probably were kind of painful or hurtful, or maybe we felt embarrassed or shameful of it. This new moon is going to bring all of that up to the surface because we need to purge it and release it. So we kind of have to look at it and see it for what it is so that we can acknowledge it and then be like, all right, boo-boo, bye. I got some new things I want to work on. I got some new projects that are really calling to me and getting me excited. So I don't have the energy to put into all of this anymore. So you can go, bye, have a great one. That's how I see these planets helping support that kind of transition and facilitate this release. Before I pull some cards, we also have Venus making a trine to Mars. Venus, as most of us know, has been retrograde for about pretty much the entire month of October, so about 30 days now-ish, a little more now. But I believe this particular trine between Venus and Mars is going to be Venus in Libra, Mars is in Aquarius. So very social energy coming here, and a real genuine interest in making these social connections and being around people, possibly new people. But I think these connections you start to make and open up to are the ones who help you with this new ideal, whatever this vision is that you have with these new intentions for your life because of this moon. This trine with Venus and Mars is going to make you open to reaching out to people, and there's going to be the right people that can either share your passion, that can help spur you and motivate you and keep you going. Probably some type of partnership can be made, where you find someone who shares your same passion and your same vision. That just heightens it and makes it stronger because the two of you can work together, or at least some connections that give you, outlets and opportunities to achieve whatever this new intention is. So super exciting stuff coming our way with this new moon. I'm kind of excited. I bought a new deck. Anytime I get to use a new deck for the first time, it's always kind of like, ah! So this is the Queen of the Moon Oracle. I'm into these super dreamy, fantastical images right now with these decks I've been kind of craving after. I think I saw this deck. A reader had posted a like, not a daily spread, but had posted some type of spread on her IG, and I saw a card, and I literally was like Google imaging this one card, trying to find what deck it was from. I reached out to her and be like, hey, oh my god, what, that card on the right, where is that from? I need to know. I eventually was able to find the card, and it was funny. I found it actually in the store. Like, I went to, I think it was at Barnes and Noble's. I was killing time, and I actually went to go pick up a book, and then of course I had to wander over to the metaphysics section. And I just happened to see a stack of this deck, the Queen of the Moon Oracle, and I flipped it over and was looking at the images on the back. And I didn't see the card I saw in the reading, but the way the cards were written and how they have the names on the card, I was like, oh my god, this is the deck. I was like, hallelujah, I found it. So super excited about it. This will be my first time using it, so we'll see how it goes. Yeah, I love doing things first time on camera. Why not? I find some decks like to be cut and like to be used a little more orderly, where I tend to like to shuffle and go with what falls. Some decks don't like to fall. And you're gonna get to know all my little weird curiosities and quirks. I tend to talk about my decks, as if they're people and they like to do things certain ways, because I truly believe they do. There are some decks that I use differently from others because I know they just don't respond how maybe I normally do it. They like to be used a certain way. I'm kind of feeling that we don't like to be shuffled, so we'll shuffle these one more time, and then we'll get some cards that way. Alright. I feel like I want a couple. Let's do one more, why not? Alright. Let's see. Oh, wonderful. Beautiful. Alright. So I'm going to show you these cards as I read them. Just gorgeous artwork in these cards. Alright. So this is the card of growth. Reject stagnancy. To get unstuck, take action. The choice to grow should be made. Expect growing pains when making huge changes in your life. Change is a natural part of life and cannot be pushed against forever. Change should have aim and purpose. Be courageous, you will blossom. Beautiful. So we all know we're aiming towards growth. We know this whole cycle is about to begin, that is really going to push us into a whole new atmosphere. Alright. So then we have the card of the waning crescent, which has an energy of protection. So your highest power, however you describe it, so spirit, God, Buddha, Shiva, is a loving and protective energy. You are loved and protected. Identify your fears. You can protect yourself better. Trust in yourself. Alright, so especially linking this to our growth card, I think this is really a sign that, hey, it could be scary. The universe is probably asking you to make some big changes. Step out of the line, step out of your boundaries. Know that you are loved. Know that you are protected. Know that you are supported. You have nothing to fear. If you have a fear, look at it. Why do you feel this way? What's causing that? Because I bet you if you get to the root of that, it's something that you can easily be, or that you can easily explain and really kind of look at through a different lens and have a different perspective where you know you don't need to be so fearful, so guarded because of that. So know that you are protected during this transition. And last but not least, love this key. This makes me think of when we were talking, I think it was 2 days ago, when we got the rune for gateway. Is that not a gateway? I mean, come on now. So waxing crescent is the card of realization. With self-awareness comes realization. Knowledge is power. Self-examination of your role within a situation is important. Good Lord, could not have written this better myself. So again, we've been talking about coming to this gateway, using this pause before we walk through. Yeah, and you'll notice the image, the girl in this card, she's not walking through the gateway, she's standing at it. She's at the edge. She's about to go through it. So it's taking this opportunity to pause, reflect. Who are you right now? What lessons and adventures and successes and joys have made who you are standing here today? What are you carrying with you into this next cycle? What are you leaving at this gate? What are you leaving outside of this doorway before you walk in? All of these questions need to be answered before we start this new cycle. Only then will we actually be allowed to begin anew. And again, yes, it can be scary. You know, we're being asked to grow and change and evolve, essentially. It can be scary. Nothing to be afraid of. You are protected. Oh my god. Couldn't have said it better myself. Just because we talked about astrology, I'm going to pull some black moon cards. A lot of astrological energy in these guys. Actually, you know what we're going to do? These are the stiff ones. You guys get a little trickier. Alright. So again, a lot of this is really focused on self. What is it you need? What is it you want to achieve? And then really being open to how is this going to happen. And again, for the new moon on Wednesday, we're setting these intentions. We're planning it out. We're not actually making any decisions. We're not doing anything yet. This is just the realization phase. So what is it we want? What is it we want to do? And it's good to know that we are safe. There's nothing to be afraid of. There's nothing we need to be fearful of. This is just an opportunity to grow and evolve. Of course. Unknown. Mystery. Of course. Alright. And of course this is scary. We don't know what's coming up. We don't know what the future holds. Doesn't need to be a concern. Yes, it's mystery. Yes, it's unknown. Doesn't mean it's going to be bad. Alright. We also got the 4th house. So 4th house traditionally is home, family. I love that they call it roots because I find it's a lot of the things that give us security. Because you think family, your home, it's where you feel safe. It's where you can go to. You can turn to these people. You can kind of, for the most part, trust that they have your best interest, or at least aren't trying to come for you or hurt you. I would say anything or any place that makes you feel secure kind of gets summed up in this card. And I think these two together kind of speak to that same growth, protected energy. We're walking into something that is unknown, something we don't know yet, because it's the future. We haven't lived it yet. We're only walking into it. But again, you have your roots planted. You are secure. You are safe. And honestly, when you think about the things we've been talking about in the daily readings, what we're working towards, these passion projects, these creative outlets, these kind of new opportunities to follow our life's passion and our purpose in life, that in itself is linked to our roots. That's where we're being called to be. That's where we're meant to be. That's what we're meant to do. So almost in turn, we're walking towards our roots. We're walking towards where we're meant to be. So yes, the path may be unknown, and we may not necessarily know the exact way we're getting there. That doesn't mean we need to be afraid of it. And honestly, it's going to be like walking home. Ooh, that hit me. It's like walking home. Oh, that felt really heavy. Okay. Um, yeah, it just feels like this is where we're meant to be. We're walking closer to our life's purpose. We're walking closer to ourself in a way. So even though it's new and unfamiliar, it is familiar because it's almost like realigning with ourselves and who we are and what we're meant to be doing with this lifetime. Oh, that is amazing. Super exciting. Amazing energies to work with for this new moon. Again, really focus on self, really understanding who you are, what you need, what you want, and what we want to do with the rest of our lives. This next cycle is going to be magnificent for a lot of us, if not all of us. I want to say all of us. But again, we have free will. Oh, I just looked at the bottom of the deck on this guy. Destiny. Stop it. I can't even. Can't even. But yes, huge things are coming for us if you're open to them. Step one is truly to understand who you are. Big, big thing. To really take this time over these new moons, get to know who it is you want to be, what it is you want to do. And then from there, endless abundance awaits. Alright, everyone, I'm super excited what this holds for us. Again, if you have any questions, links will be below to book a private reading. I hope I hear from you from the comments. I want to see how this is manifesting for you all. Questions, comments, and concerns, please feel free to reach out to me. And we are in for some amazing changes. Alright, everyone, have a great new moon. Have a great week. I will see you shortly. Monthlies coming up, hopefully very, very soon. I'm going to start recording those any day now. So hopefully they'll be up for all of you guys to enjoy for the month. Alright, thank you everyone. Take care. Sending you lots of love.